for effect.
And we are live.
Live, not
So
memory.
got
Are we
three people
live?
in the room.
Are
Got
we
three
live?
people in the room. You're three people in the room so far.
Yeah, it's us.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think I got anybody in my room.
I
Oh
don't either.
my!
I don't
There's
either.
nobody in
Let's,
mine either.
Let's
She's in there
practice
cooking.
this.
At least I hope that's what she's in there doing, because it sure does smell good. We're having baked ziti tonight. So,
Ooh, that sounds
oh
good.
yeah, I'm chomping at the bit for this stuff.
Baked ziti.
I love. Well,
What is happening?
it's my recipe, but we kind of,
There we go.
you know, throw our. Oh crap! You know what? We ain't got garlic bread. I ain't gonna say nothing about it because I ain't about to go to the store.
You be the one headed down to the store. To get it.
Yeah, I gotta get it. Damn, I got
Oh, my instructions are bent. I'm throwing this kid away.
your what's meant.
Oh, Tiffany's here.
Oh,
Hey, Jeff,
instructions.
welcome.
Okay. Oh, crazy scale models. What's up, guys?
What's
Hey,
happening,
there we
y'all?
are. I figured it would be a little bit less attendance today with the 500 going on. People, I know
It's
that,
not going on. It's in rain delay.
Isn't it?
500's under a rain delay.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Let me turn around and look. Hold on. Yep. They still drying the track out.
Jesus.
Yep.
Hey, Craig, welcome to the show, man.
Billy Strange, you made it at the beginning this week, Billy. I'm proud of you.
Well, that is a first for Billy for sure.
That's awful strange of him.
Oh my. How about it, John?
Awful strange.
Learn how to spell, Pappy. Come on. There we go.
Oh, here we go. Security text.
Security tech. What?
It says right here. Security text.
Oh.
Did I get the? Yeah, the storm changed to freezing rain up here, so it made snow cleanup actually surprisingly easy this time.
Let's see. What are we gonna do today? We're gonna do bare metal fall.
What are we gonna do today?
I got polished. I got polished today. Well, actually, last night. Check that out, boy. That thing is. I mean, that thing is just.
Ooh, dang!
That is
That
just
is
shinier
shiny.
than a diamond. You know.
And a goat's butt.
Yeah. Wait a minute. BG tickled me Friday night. I was like, and it was right after we finished. I was like, "Go, BG, go ahead and close us out." It's shinier than a diamond. Whoa. Wrong ending, buddy. Wrong ending.
Wrong end of the goat, buddy. Wrong end of the goat.
Wrong into the goat.
That bat, instead of going, nah, that goat went, nah.
Man, no.
Nah, wrong one, buddy.
All right. What we got?
Oh, good. Well, all right. I have everything for bare metal foil. I have bare metal foil fresh. I have a sharp blade, check.
Nice.
What else we
Chat,
need?
what's up, chat? For those
It's
of
like
you that
heart
don't know,
blade.
we have a special guest today, Mr. Fred Henry from Peppy. Peppy from South, I get it wrong every time, West Georgia Rods and Customs. For some reason, I want to call it South Georgia Rods and
You only
Customs.
had 4 directions to choose from.
Yeah,
Right? And I get them all
yeah.
wrong. It's always going to be the right one last.
Yep.
Well, welcome to the build day, Peppy. Good to have you.
Thanks, sir. Seems like this time last weekend we were departing each other. We spent a
Yeah.
fun weekend in Jacksonville, Florida, at the JacksCon show. So it's always good to get down there. Matter of fact, we need to get BG down there.
That's on the list.
I know Jason's been. I've been. Mike's been. We need to get Beach down there.
Yeah, we're gonna get him down.
That was one
Gotta
of
get
those
down
fun
there.
ones. That was one of those fun ones that it's small enough to where you can still got stuff going on and it's entertaining. But
Yeah.
you're not. It's not overwhelming, if that makes sense.
No.
Well, I gotta get all 3 of you guys to my club show.
Oh my goodness, I do want to come to that one.
That would be
Yeah.
cool.
When is that? Is that in September?
In October.
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 Well,
Ooh.
we're already committed for Acme for 2025. Even though you're on the same side of the country, you're not exactly right up the street.
Yeah,
Right?
okay. I mean, you've already been to Acme a handful of times. Never to my show. It's okay though. Not holding any resentment.
None. I don't actually. You don't hear it in your voice or nothing.
Yep. Not holding any resentment at all. Let me just get out my dartboard with the BG logo on it.
Well, I'm contemplating, and I certainly haven't made any commitments. But I was talking to Mr. BG about it earlier. I'm contemplating the NNL East this year. I know you're
Well,
not going.
you would, you jerk. I'm not going to that one.
I told him. I told him.
Now, what we all need to do is myself, Fred, and Jason need to load up and head west and go attack BG and them at one of their shows.
Oh, see,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
we're legitimately working on that.
Yeah, that's what
Oh yeah.
That's what I said the other night. I was like, it ain't like I work for an airline company. I mean,
You just now put that together.
I just want to show up unannounced without him having a clue and knock on Matt's door going, "Hey, I came from Florida. Now I need a place to stay." see the look on his face.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you right now, that's a great way to get shot.
I don't even know who you are. Yeah.
Yeah, either by Matt or his roommate.
That would be some funny stuff.
Wow. I wished I could have went to that. I was invited along on that, but I gosh, I can't remember, something that came up that we just couldn't even try to swing it. I think it was our water heater busted. I think that's what it was. And that was our water heater busted the couple months before that, and that's where our money went for that. And I was just like, Jesus, I'm gonna do a Charlie Mack. Jesus.
Or you can do a Jason. Oh gosh.
Oh, gosh.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that actually happened to us the year we were planning to go to Acme. We had it all planned out.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
my heater took a giant crap.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yep,
Yep.
Yep, remember that?
I do remember that.
You were legit bummed out.
I was legit bummed out, and it was cold for a bit too.
That's all right. You got enough cats and Heather and
Yeah. How do you think I stayed warm? There it is.
so
All right.
fucking.
We've taken out the ones we
There
don't
we
need.
go. I really didn't want to
You
show my
guys
face.
worked on.
That's Fred, you want to talk about what you're working on?
I'm working on the Unified Scale Auto Content Creators of YouTube's group bill, better known as the Revell 68 Dart. Now try saying that 5 times, and it ain't gonna happen here. But
Dart.
cheater. Dart. Don't ever say that in a bar.
No.
It means everybody starts looking around. Shit, where's it coming from? No, I'm doing bare metal foil on this thing tonight. Matter of fact, when is the deadline of this? I forget.
March 16th.
March 16th.
March 16th.
16th. Let me look at the calendar. Oh, that's the weekend after. Oh, that's yeah. I think the planets will align.
What's up, William?
What's up, William?
What do we got here?
That's not.
But yeah, I'm trying to get this one finished for the USAC bill. But I want to carry this to the next show, which our next show is going to be here in the South. Let's see, March will be the Atlanticon. Yeah, that's an IPMS show. I'm gonna make sure I don't put GM seatbelts in this thing though.
Now put some Ford ones in there.
Mike knows the story. BG does too. And I think Jason, did I tell you that the other night? Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. That was
I am not plowing snow because it didn't get as much as we thought we were going to, William. I just got home and graced all of you with my presents.
See there? Now, Fred tells the funny story about getting a note left behind about the seatbelts. But Fred, did you see the note that they left behind on Paul Olson's? Paul Olson's card.
What?
They left him a note on his card, which I thought it was pretty rude, but you guys tell me. They left a note on underneath one of his builds that said literally, and I read it: a 10-year-old girl found 5 things wrong with your model.
Oh, that was. Oh, I'd have come unglued on that. I'd have went to Gil. Gil's the president of First Coast. I would have went right to him.
Yeah. Wait to make sure nobody comes back to your show. You think Paul's going to go back next year? I hope he does, but I wouldn't blame him if
Paul's
he
a good
didn't.
guy, but I
If that
felt
was
bad
one
for
of
him
my
after.
judges, they would have been slapped and sterilized.
Why
And
is
I
my-
thought it was great that they had that young lady, because I saw the young girl that was out there with them, and I thought it was great that they were introducing her to it. And I've told this story to a couple different groups, and I mean, most of them they were like, the girl that shouldn't be judging. Good for her that she was at the show and enjoying, but she shouldn't be judging. And whoever was in charge of judge wise was in charge of the people, because you know how they're taking volunteers, right?
Oh
They were
yeah,
asking for
yeah.
volunteers at the beginning.
Yeah.
So, you got, and I'm going to assume that there's one judge that knows what he's doing and he's handling the volunteer judges to help him do a lot of legwork. That's just my natural assumption. That judge should have caught that and said, not allowed that, or made sure that wasn't on there.
Did the little girl write it, or did the parent write it?
The parent wrote it.
Yeah.
Because it says a 10-year-old little girl found 5 things wrong with your mom.
Yeah, they should
And
be
that's an
ashamed of
assumption.
themselves. They should be
assumption.
ashamed of themselves.
That's an assumption that the parent wrote it. I'm praying to God that the judge didn't write it. I mean, inevitably a judge wrote it because the parent was acting as a judge. But that just didn't seem right. You know what I got on mine? 2 check marks. Yep, we saw your crap. But I did tell.
God.
I didn't even get a note that said a 10-year-old found stuff wrong with mine. But the funny part about that is they were picking up the cars and setting them down, and Lewis was there.
Yeah, Lewis was really
he's
telling
a judge,
them not.
right?
Yeah,
He's part of the group. And I looked at Lewis and I said, "Listen, I don't know if you want to tell them this or not. It's completely up to you. I don't know how friendly you are with these people." I said, "But if one of those judges picks up my car, when they set it back down, they're going to sleep."
Well, you know that they dropped. I don't know if they dropped it, but they broke some stuff off of Rick Scott's one of his bills.
Yeah,
they snapped the body off of Dan's pull truck.
They didn't say anything?
Oh no! Oh hell no!
The last IPMS show I was at, they ran out of room. They had to stretch out the automotive because there were more cars than they thought there were going to be. And I looked over at just the right moment. Was there with Tim Ryan, and they were like working their way down the table. And Tim and I had placed our models kind of near each other because we got there together. The judges were like picking them up like that, 2 at a time, by the roofs, and like carrying them. And I'm like, oh. I walked up and I said, "Nope, don't even think about it. Tell me where you want them." Oh, okay. Well, we appreciate that. Yeah, you better. Holy cow.
Wow.
So we had to move a lot of cars and categories because people were entering stuff in the wrong category, and our tables were full and all that stuff. So I was the one. Just me was the only one moving stuff because I was head judge. Just me.
Yeah.
And I moved one at a time. And I even moved one twice because I set it down in the wrong category. I was like, don't!
Right.
Moved to the right category and moved on with my life. But I was like, and then I'm doing this in front of hundreds of people.
Yeah. Well, it's an IPMS show, right? So most of the people had their stuff sitting on paper plates. If the judges that I observed were being careful and doing it one at a time, I've been fine with it. But picking them up like this,
Yeah.
That doesn't fly.
and like 2 at a time, 3 of them, and I'm like, no, that's not gonna work.
You know, I mean, honestly, this is, Jason, the way you did that. Now, I mean, that's the way I move mine, picking it up like that. This is what gripes my butt. I mean, after I polished this thing to where it's shinier than a diamond, but instead of grabbing it from the top of the roof, when they put them, like that, they manhandle it, gorilla
Oh,
finger it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't even like doing that to my own. So
Right.
please don't,
Yeah,
please
exactly.
don't do that.
Mikey
No, I
is
get,
looking like what his name
I
that
get-
did the car show. I don't know who
I try to get under the front and under the rear and carry it like
Mhm.
this
Oh yeah, me
best
too.
I can.
But Dan, Fred, Tom White's friend Dan that does the 3D printing,
Yeah.
hangs out with Skip and them.
Yeah.
They
The
snapped.
the one that did the belly racer.
Did he do the belly? I know he did the pulling truck. He may have done the belly.
Yeah,
racer,
yeah,
too,
he
I'm
did
not
the
sure.
belly racer or the belly tank racer.
Okay. He did that pulling truck too. That purple Dodge pulling truck. That's
Yeah.
full
Oh yeah,
on his
yeah,
own,
yeah. That's
his
him.
own
That's Dan.
creation, his own design, the
Yep.
chassis
Yep.
and everything.
Yep.
They snapped because it displays like for those that don't know, it displays like a funny car, right? It's a pulling
Right.
truck,
It raises.
and they
Yep.
snapped the body off of it, and then set the body down on the chassis. And when they did that, they snapped the rear bumper off, and they were nice enough to pick the rear bumper up and set it in the bed of the truck.
Jeez.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
So I'll tell you guys a story. First year I was head automotive judge, the pen slipped out of my hand and landed on the wing of a McLaren race car.
Ooh.
Popped the wing off. So I made a note on the paperwork, don't discount this guy. I did that. Come see me if you have any questions. And when they were judging him, he did pretty well, even though the wing was busted off because I made that note. And I initialed it and everything. And I could not get a hold of the guy. Couldn't find him. I had him paged, couldn't find him. And then later on, I found out that he was a friend of Chuck's. So I got his information from Chuck, and then I called him the next day and apologized for doing that. And, hopefully there was no hard feelings. And if he wanted to, I don't know, name his dog and kick it after me, name his dog after me and kick it, I'd understand that. But we actually ended up becoming kind of friends. And he appreciated the fact that I had the integrity to stand up and say, yeah, I did that. And I apologize. I went to my
Stuff happens, right?
IPMS guys and told them what happened, and they're like, "Good, that's the kind of stuff we want to see from our judges. If you did something, say something."
Yeah, stuff happens.
Stuff happens, right? And when
Stuff
somebody
happens.
is all apologetic and
Own up.
Do you know what he told me? He said he had that white glued on because that wing was notorious for just falling off anyway. So he just had it white glued on there just in case somebody bumped it and it fell off. So I was like,
that's
it was a setup. Okay.
smart. Right, you set me up, you bastard.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one on me. And I was really embarrassed about it. I was the same way, with BG. I was doing some video coverage, and I forgot where was I? I know where it was at. It was up in Cleveland, Tennessee, at the Ocoee Whitewater Classic. And I'm going down through there. Got my camera in my hand, doing this, and old fumble fingers here. It falls off.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it hit. It hit a kid's, of all people, hit this kid's model, and it did break something. It did break it knocked the window out. And I apologize. I was like, bring it over here. I'll help you fix it. Da da da. And I got it. We got it back in there. And now I run into this. I run into him. Now that was probably 8 years ago. But now I run into this kid every now and then at the South Carolina shows, and he still remembers that. He said, "Hey, you remember when you knocked my windshield out?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm still trying to get over that. Quit." Hush.
John Henning,
just-
I'm working on the 71 Roundy Round car that I've been working on for a couple weeks now.
Nice.
Trying to get it done, getting it mocked up. Jason, John was asking what it is you're working on.
So I'm working on two things. I'm working on the interior of the Jaguar. The dash, getting the dash buttoned up. And then I'm going to start working on the engine for the GB Appreciation group build.
Ooh. GB?
Yeah. Sorry,
Oh,
that's
you mean B? You mean G?
Heather and I
B?
just watched Fred's video.
BJ? You mean?
BJ, yeah.
BJ. I call him
You know what?
BJ.
I hear Miss VG calling. I gotta go. Bye.
Hey, Landy.
I got to do a video on it, but I just got a care package from our good friend Josh over at VCG Resins. I've got a
Don't ruin it.
slant six with a 4-barrel that's going in that pacer.
Well, I
got
certainly
the-
hope he sent me something different because now I won't be surprised.
No,
Exactly.
I ordered
Thanks,
I ordered
Mike.
this stuff. I ordered this stuff, so I'm sure he
Oh,
sent
good.
you something different. But I got both of his slant six motors, and one that's got the old school Weber carburetors on it. So I
Yeah.
might use that. But I got one that's a 4-barrel, one that's a turbo. But no, I know these aren't gifts. Those I paid for those. So
Okay, I gotta
discount code, but I paid for those.
I gotta ask, if you have both slant motors, does one slant to the left and one slant to the
Slant
right?
to the
or you
right,
put both
yeah.
together?
That's called a V12.
Isn't that what Jason's working on?
Isn't that what I'm working on?
Yeah, no, you're working on the inline six, right?
Yeah, both these actually have inline sixes in them.
Ooh, fancy.
Very, very.
Hey, Mr. Kyle. Dominique is in here. Mr. Joe, what's happening,
Oh,
Big
man.
Scout?
What's up, Dominique?
What's up, Joe?
Hey, Dominique.
Leon, what's going on, buddy? Big Sky.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm
Joe.
way behind.
Good- yeah,
Give
me
a shout out
too.
to Leon making it in that magazine. Good
Yes,
job.
sir.
Yeah,
absolutely.
dude.
Yes,
That's
sir.
awesome, Leon, that you made it in the magazine. And that I love that. I love that build. Every shade of green. That's so cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that is cool. We had Scott Comer on Thursday night on the live cast, and Leon was in there and got to talk about it being right there to Scott, which I thought was pretty cool.
Nice.
What a great
Y'all,
guy.
if you go to a show and see Auto Modeler magazine and Scott and Nani are there, go up and say hi to them. They are the sweetest people in the world.
They really truly are. Yeah. That's one of the main reasons I'm thinking about going to. I've been thinking about it anyway, but Scott was telling me him and Nani are going to NNLE, so I'm like, dang, that'd be cool.
Are they really?
They are.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
I know,
Jason's
Jason,
plans
right?
are changing.
No, unfortunately, they can't. Oh, well. You lose some, you lose some. That's my life.
Right?
And apparently this year they changed the host hotel from what it was last year, and it's supposed to be a much nicer place.
Oh, thank goodness.
And then the Friday night they do a dinner, and it's going to be right there at the host hotel. No, I say host
Yeah,
hotel. It's not like Acme where the venue's next door, but it's pretty close, I guess.
I heard the host hotel was also the same place they filmed The Secret of Nim with all the rats.
Yeah,
Okay, that could be
Yeah.
in New Jersey.
yeah. There was a couple of cockroaches in there too. It was not fun.
Oh, they must have went to where we left.
Oh,
We left the Acme, our Acme place.
Oh man, the host hotel in Smyrna, yeah,
Oh my God, that was
where the
terrible.
smoke detector in my bathroom had been ripped off the wall.
Not only that, wasn't it you that found a? No, it was Tom. Old Tom walked into his shower, found a Band-Aid sticking on the. I ain't talking. I'm talking a used Band-Aid on the inside of the shower.
Yeah.
That's
Tom's
disgusting.
wife was telling me about that story. That's when she's, and to quote her verbatim, she said, "That's when I drew the line."
Yeah.
Now,
say
then
that.
That's
somebody
where you
was-
drew the line. That's funny.
Somebody,
Who was it? I think it was John Roberts. It was a friend of mine, of John's Weber. They had to actually install a whole new toilet
In
that
the
ho-
room.
At that hotel.
in the bathroom. But yeah,
Yeah.
something catastrophic had happened to the toilet before John got there, and they had to replace the toilet in the
At
room.
Smyrna.
At Smyrna, yeah.
Oh my God.
Goodness gracious.
Well, do you know what? I don't know if I told you or I shared this. Actually, I shared it with actually a person that works for the company there, and he's a model builder also. But anyhow, you remember in the the little lobby area where we always would congregate,
Yeah.
before the show, after the show. they had that little juice dispenser over there, which was used during the morning breakfast that they served there.
Right.
I was just walked over there. They had a cup right there. I stuck it up under there and had some juice come out along with a cockroach.
Oh, God.
And the cockroach was doing the backstroke in my orange juice. I was like, no, hope you
Yeah.
enjoy it.
And now with all that
It's all
vitamin C,
yours
he's
now,
super
buddy.
strong.
Yeah. I was just like, nah, I don't think so. I didn't eat it that bad.
That cup of juice just became all
Oh,
yours.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I was,
I'm sure I'm not the only one it's happened to, but it's like being outside, hanging around the burn pile or whatever, maybe barbecuing, and you catch the last possible second as the bee crawls into your beer bottle. Yeah, it don't matter how cold that beer is or how many sips you got out of it. That just became that bee's beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that with a Yellow Jacket one time.
My thing is always, I saw that one, but how many others have been in there
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
that I didn't see?
Exactly. There's also a good chance there's already one in there if you see one go in.
Now, I'll tell you another thing. It's really a turd in the punch bowl
heavy.
for me. Is if you're, and this is going to be a Southern euphemism for you, Brian.
Okay. I'm collecting them.
You go to a one of those burn parties where you're out there at the burn pit and barbecue something like that,
Party.
and you got a few good old boys out there. It's just they're spitting, got their dip in their mouth, and when they start to come in the house, well, guess what they're spitting in? They're spitting in a beer bottle.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you reach down, you've been sitting in there, you go in there and you set your beer down. Next thing you know, you think, oh shoot, is that my beer? And you're already about 4 or 5 beers into it, and you grab that beer bottle and you turn it up and it's brown,
You can't
and
tell.
you go, well, that ain't mine. That ain't even my flavor of dip.
This beer just doesn't seem to be going down in the bottle at all. That's awesome.
Copenhagen flavor, I love that.
I'll tell you a funny story about that. I dipped Copenhagen for a long time. My first wife was a cigarette smoker, so we're going out at the mud bogs. We got the
Ooh,
truck.
I already know where this one's going.
So I got an old V96 V10 Dodge, tires on it and all that, right? So all day long between the two of us, I used to get after her because she'd put her cigarette butts in my what I call the cowboy. So it's a bottle,
Yeah,
but you take like a bar napkin
yeah.
and fold it in half lengthways and bandana, right? Called it my cowboy. And I'd wrap that around the neck so I wouldn't get confused. So here we are. We're out there having fun. It's Florida heat. We're out the swamp just raising cane. She keeps using it for a damn ashtray, and I'm cussing at her. And finally, we're out bouncing across, and she's like, decides, because the beer's set up here, right? She grabs the spit bottle and the beer to hold it, and then as we're bouncing, decides that she's going to take a sip and grabs the cowboy. And I remember looking over, realizing what had happened, and she's spitting cigarette butts out into her hand with Copenhagen. And I remember looking at her, if you puke in my truck, I'm going to be pissed. I pulled her over so she could do what she had to do. But yeah, that was disgusting. I felt bad for her on that one.
Yeah,
I really, truly did.
That's always a shitty day.
I mildly felt bad for her that time.
I mildly felt bad. Of course, by the end of the night, it was, I told you not to put that cigarette butts in there. That's what you get.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah, it was nasty.
Yep, done that before.
Larry Wilson, what's going on, man? Welcome, Stephen Kessel. Welcome.
Oh, what's up, Terry Wilson? Stephen Kessel, good to see you.
Hey, Terry.
What's up, James? Glad you're enjoying these. I'm getting there. On enjoying them.
I enjoy the fact that we all get together and hang out, and I'm getting work done at the same time.
Of course,
Yeah, I know,
I'm
man.
just joking. I love hanging out with you guys.
You're being serious and you're breaking my heart.
Don't go breaking my heart.
Easy, you get a copyright strike.
Yeah, exactly. Just because you sing pretty good.
Right if I wanted to.
Hey, Vinny's here again.
Any Corona, Jason, how much snow did you get up there?
So we get
Well,
about between 5 and 6, and then it switched to freezing rain.
Is that King Sparkles, Bradley?
Bradley on here?
I don't know. He usually goes by Brad, but it could be. I don't.
Well, it says Bradley. Hello,
Okay.
gentlemen. Well, hello, Bradley.
Bradley, to whom are you speaking to? We are not gentlemen.
Right. You sure you're on the right? You sure you're on the right live? You said
Oh
that.
my goodness!
You're on the
Hold
wrong
on.
cast.
I don't think y'all.
He says yes. Okay.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm just clarifying.
Yep.
I've never been confused, as a gentleman.
Unfortunately, Brad King Sparkles couldn't make it to JaxCon. His wife had just had surgery, and
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
no.
going to ask you if you saw them.
he's gonna
Yeah.
have to stay home.
No, Suzanne
Hopefully
had a I think it was hernia surgery, and under the advice of her doctor, not to be around all of us,
Right.
scoundrels.
Yeah, don't go anywhere you're going to laugh a lot.
Yeah, because you could easily bust a stitch with us. But
Well, isn't that the saying?
well,
He says he's trying to be polite. You're doing a good job.
trying to be polite.
There you go.
I've never been that way a day in my life. Obnoxious.
BG, you've been proud of me though. I spent the whole weekend up there, and I didn't buy any maple syrup bourbon and pass it around. I saved that for when you're there.
Maple syrup.
Yep, maple syrup
syrup.
bourbon.
And I didn't even have a NA with with Papa Z either. Papa Z had some NAs floating around. He said, "Pappy, you want one? I'd love one, but I don't know. I just didn't feel like that." I see Joe at Big Sky Model Workshop. He said he had quit drinking after that PTSD of taking a sip of chew. Yeah, that's enough to give you. That's
That'll
enough to
kill
give you PTSD.
That'll give it to you for sure.
Golly, man.
Never.
All right, let's see if I can get this one straight.
So, Fred, talk to us a little bit about that bare metal foil. I know you've been doing this a long time. Is the new stuff? I know the new formula is supposed to be much better than the old stuff. Is it?
It is. It's
It is.
100% better. It sticks better. That's the biggest. That's the caveat to it all. It sticks better. It lays down smoother as long as you do it with a. And I use. I mean, y'all see what I'm using. I mean, I got a brand new fresh number 11. I use these little Tamiya pointed tips. I got different sizes. I don't know if I'd get them up where y'all could see them. But I got those.
Fred, I'll put you up on the big screen so you can see the.
Which I've already got. Is that the side? Yeah, I've already done the rain gutter right here on this side. But using a fresh number 11, that's always a must. Using these pointed Q-tip, I think Q-tips or Tamiya tips, cotton tips. Have a good straight edge. I even keep a toothpick, and it's not for picking my teeth either. It's for actually burnishing inside, down in a door liner or in a rain gutter or something like that. But I mean, right there, I mean, that's the start of it. I mean, you just start a piece at a time. Don't try to do it all in one sitting. Which I'll do this rain gutter here, and then I'll come down and do the vent windows. Then, I'll switch over to the driver's side, which I've already done the rain gutter on that side, but I haven't done the vent window, and then we'll transfer over to the front windshield, then the rear windshield. And God have mercy, I'm gonna try to pick out I'm gonna try to do the ones around the wheel wells. So
quick question: whenever you get it done, I see that you've got a beautiful paint job on there, which is not at all unlike you. Your paint jobs come out really nice. I'm assuming you got some clear coat on there.
yes.
When you get done with your bare metal foil, are you going to clear coat over it, or are you just
No.
going to leave it there? No
No,
clear
I'll
coat?
leave.
Okay.
I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it alone after that. I have on some builds done it before, prior to doing the clear coat. But I mean, it's not. It's going to seal it in no matter what. But if you do this, with some good fresh bare metal foil, taking, burnishing it down with this big Tamiya cotton bud. If you burnish it down enough, then come behind it and kind of burnish it more down in with a small one into the crack like that. Then take again, and I always say use a fresh number 11. Don't try to use a dull one, and then just score that down through there like that, and then peel it away slowly. Then once you're done, burnish it back down again. You don't have to worry about it. I mean, I did have some older bare metal foil that would, it was the old stuff. It had that bad adhesive on it, and I trashed that. So,
Joe asked a question. Whenever you peel off the excess BMF, does it take the adhesive with it? He's asking, does the excess
sometimes
come
it
off,
does, sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. This is not what you think it is. This is not lacquer thinner. This is mineral spirits.
Okay.
This is white mineral spirits, and I always do what I've been trained in hazmat before, and of course, that hazmat training didn't really pay off. So what do? I go,
Sniff
yep,
it.
that's it. So, but
That's what I'm looking for.
but I take if it leaves a small amount of residue of the adhesive, again, cotton buds are my friend. I just dunk it down in there. Dunk it down into the white spirits. And I always keep a bunch of little small paper towels, and I just scrub that off with a paper towel, and then just kind of lightly drag it down through there. Make sure it is. Do not, and I can't repeat myself any clearer in my best country dialect. Do not use lacquer thinner.
Yeah, because that'll pull all your clear coat
That'll
off.
pull the clear coat off and everything else that you don't want. But the reason I have, and then again too, I don't ever label. It did say MS on here, so there is. I know it's mineral spirits without having to sniff it. So, but I just want everybody to know that my hazmat training did pay off. But do as I say, don't do as I do.
Right. That's cool. I've done the bare metal foil trick. I did it on the Hudson, where you put your primer down, and then take the bare metal foil, put it over your emblem.
Yep.
Whatever it's a Dodge Chrysler or whatever, and then cut it as close as you possibly can, paint over it, and then come back with those same types of really tight cotton swabs, for lack of better terms.
Yep.
And pull the paint back off with a little bit of lacquer thinner, therefore revealing the chrome from the bare metal foil. I had good luck with that. It's something you got to practice at, but it works really well when you do it right, or when it's done right.
Yes, I do that. I do that a lot. Where if I don't feel like ordering in a photo etch fret for a particular build, I'll catch myself doing that too.
Well, we talked. What is it you're working on, Mr. BG? I think you're the only one left. We hadn't talked about what you're working on.
I am working on my Rally Cool rally car. Working on this Revell Toyota Corolla WRC, which is not really a Revell. It's actually a Hasegawa kit, disguised as a Revell. But we're doing this guy. So far, this is an awesome little kit. Lots of nice detail in the interior. Let me rotate that a little bit. It's all white, so it's not going to show up real well on the camera, but just getting some stuff placed out here, and then we'll start priming stuff up later today and getting everything into color.
Sweet.
I have high hopes this one will go pretty smoothly. I just jinxed myself.
Isn't that how it goes? Right about the time you think you got it figured out?
When anything and everything happens.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm excited to get started on mine, but I gotta stay after this well, I got to stay after this dark so I can get at least something done for mine and Jason's. Since we are hosting and Jason's already got his done, and you did, BG, you did an awesome job on that little midget car
Yeah.
that you did, which I think looks amazing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And Jason's already got one, at least one done, and I've got nothing done. So I'm like, I gotta
Yeah.
go to work.
Yep, I got one.
Speaking of a group, Bill, let me turn around and see what the Roundy Round boys are doing on the TV over here. Well, hell, it's in commercial.
Perfect time.
But yeah, we had a guy in the NASCAR group, Bill, Jeff and I. He posted on the Facebook group, "Hey, when can we post our a finished bill? Right now. What better day to do it than today?"
I'm day 500, right?
Yeah, sitting here, and he was like, "Can I get a boogity boogity boogity?" I was like, "Boogity boogity boogity, let's go building, boys and girls."
Let's go. I gotta admit, I mean, I wasn't a huge junior or senior fan when they were racing. I mean, I got along. I liked Junior a little bit when he was racing because we're about the same age, and he was partying. Sponsored by Budweiser. I kind of thought it was cool that he was showing up in Nickelback songs and that sort of thing. But I've never been a GM guy, right? I don't root for GM. And so I was always Bill Elliott, Sterling Marlin, Davey Allison when Davey was alive. But I got to admit now, especially as a student of podcast and somebody who's trying to learn and get better at the side gig that I'm doing, Junior does an amazing job.
Oh, I love Dirty Mo.
Yeah, Dirty Mo Media. Yeah,
I love it. I love listening to his stuff.
Yeah. And then when he gets somebody in like a DW or those guys.
Oh yeah. Have you watched the one with where he interviews DW a couple months ago? Oh my God. I enjoyed that.
He is really good. And then he gets some of those, the guys that he pulls up, some of those old mechanics and team owners, and they talk about some of the stuff they were doing behind the scenes, the DW one where they talk about putting lead shot in the cage and then dumping it out on the track.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that came out on the racetrack. That was a good one.
And him and DW and Humpy Wheeler was walking down the straightaway, and they were like, "I wonder where all this bird shot or ball bearings are coming from." I don't know, Humpy.
I don't know where that came from. That's funny though.
And then they said that
NASCAR would be a lot more exciting if they ditched those restrictor plates, I think. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't know enough about it anymore. I started to tell that story about the Junior thing only because, he's got that car in there this week, and I kind of got some excitement built up around that. I'd kind of get on board with that. It seemed pretty cool to have an Earnhardt back in there, and he's got Traveler Whiskey as a sponsor, and I thought that was pretty cool.
I tell you one who I was really proud for, even though it was ARCA, was Cletus McFarland, Garrett Mitchell. Oh my God, I was just so stoked to see him, do what he did. And
he did an interview where I guess he crashed somewhere along the way, didn't he?
Yeah, he got took out. Yeah, somebody took him out by accident. Just one of them big crashes,
racing deals. Yeah,
but
it was pretty funny to hear him tell the story. I was coming in there and I was feeling like the most talented driver in the world until I didn't anymore.
Until I didn't anymore, and he said I kind of felt like Ricky Bobby. I was like, oh my God, that's hilarious.
That is funny.
That dude is super funny, man.
Yeah, he is. But I'll tell you what, him and just a while ago, I was watching, the start of the 500, and Greg Biffle was down there with President Trump, and Biffle and him, Garrett Mitchell's his real name, but Cletus McFarland, they did a lot of humanitarian relief effort with their helicopters in North Carolina during the floods.
Yep.
Yeah, they did.
So, kudos to, to Biffle, because, Biffle, is from that region. So, and there was Garrett taking, his own helicopter himself and doing relief effort up there for those folks in the mountains.
That's cool, man. Those guys are still suffering up there.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're we're not gonna anyhow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Don't even. I'm not. I'm gonna stay neutral about that.
yeah. William Wagaman said that Cletus had 53,000 people watching on his in car.
Yeah.
No shit.
I seen something.
53,000 people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Damn.
seen that he got a. I don't know if it was a fine or a probation from NASCAR for doing that. For him having an in-car camera
I don't
and
know.
doing
I
it
don't know. It could very well be.
and posting it out on the old interweb there.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah,
heard. I
that-
heard that's what the probation was for where he.
It doesn't surprise me. NASCAR owns all that, right?
Yeah,
Anything,
yeah,
they
yeah.
own
It
all
has
of
to
that.
be, yeah. But he was,
Yep,
running it,
yep.
doing it across the
Missing
doing it
non-resident.
across YouTube on his own channel. So, and they were like, "Ooh, we got to get our cut of that too." Now, so
James, you're right, buddy. I feel the same way. I'm not a big NASCAR fan anymore. Like I said, just kind of supporting Junior a little bit. But talking about rather go to a Saturday night short track, that's literally, the group build that myself and Jason are doing is because, for that very thing, right?
yeah,
Just
Yeah.
to support the little short track guys. But and I get it. I mean, I if you follow it, good for you. I ain't mad at it. It's just I kind of relate it somewhat to the hobby too. There were people this died, that died. NASCAR didn't die; it evolved. It had to change, right? It was just not what we
Yeah,
remember it being.
stuff change. I mean, things can't stay the same forever.
Forever.
no,
Much as we'd like it to.
yeah.
You know,
But it
The-
was,
the-
I mean, I grew up here in the South, and going to local tracks. I mean, there was a local track just north of here in Woodstock, Georgia. That some of the greatest NASCAR drivers, Jody Ridley, a guy named Bill Elliott. I don't know if y'all have heard of him or not. They got their start up there at that racetrack, and watching them, go from that, and even Chase. I mean, Chase was running, up there at Woodstock. He was running, all the local tracks around, south. He was running the Bandoleros down at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I mean, I've watched them, and I've even actually been up to Dawsonville. I've been in the Dawsonville pool room on race day, and unfortunately, wasn't the day that Bill would won. But and when he would win, they would. When Bill would win, they'd go out there. They got a big old big fire siren. If Bill won, they'd crank that thing up, and the town would just come alive. So that's
they're proud of their hometown guy. That's for
oh
sure.
yeah,
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 that's for sure.
always. All right, there's 2 rain gutters. I just tortured myself with 2 rain gutters. All right, let's get some more done.
We got a local track here. It's used to be owned by the Powell family. Now it's owned by Bubba the Love Sponge.
Bubba the Love Sponge. Why do I know that?
He used
Wrestler.
to be a radio guy out of
Radio guy. That's
I think
right.
he was wasn't he a wrestler?
No, he's tied in with Hulk Hogan. He's really good friends
Yeah.
with them, but he's
Okay.
not a wrestler per se. He got a lot of slack and a lot of however you want to call it, newsprint. He killed a pig live on the radio, and they were going to barbecue it up. It's not like he just killed it to kill it, but that was kind of the big
that's
thing
what-
that put him to an end.
That's
But
one of the things
he's
you gotta
big
do.
into racing, is sprint car type racing.
Yeah.
And he ended up buying the speedway up here, and he does a lot of cool stuff. He's friends with Tony Stewart and all those sprint car guys. And it's literally, I'll put it to you this way: I can on Saturday nights I can hear him down there running. The track's that close to me. But he's kind of a controversial dude. He was, the whole shock jock thing. when
Yeah,
Stone
that's
was doing
that's
it.
what I thought that's what he was. He was one of those shock
he's shock
jocks.
jock guy. But he was big money back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Back when radio was a thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They got turned on its ear because, well, the big thing that it was starting to get attention anyway. I was working with a radio group out of Orlando at the time, and I was, like I said, I was just helping them out here and there and this and that and whatnot. But a group called the Monsters of the Midday, and the FCC was starting to clamp down. But that was right at the same time that Janet Jackson had the dress malfunction at the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And that after that, man, things just they took after Howard first, because keep in mind this was all terrestrial radio. This is pre XM radio or any of that, any of that sort of thing. So they took after Howard first, and then everybody else that was doing anything, the least, but they just tore into them, and they got to where the radio stations, everything works off sponsorship, right? So if nobody wants to advertise during the hours that you're on, you're not going to be on. They're going to bring somebody else in there.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's what happened to Bubba. He just got like bad press.
Yep, the sponsors have the final say on damn near everything.
They do. But again, I got
We
to
had
work with
a,
those guys, but not like
We had a
that.
syndicated, the radio station here in Atlanta, which was one of the top classic rock. It was Z9, what, Z93? Yeah, Z93. And they had a guy on there. He was syndicated out of, I forgot where he was from, but he was called the Grease Man. And oh my God, we would listen to him, and he just, just the things that he would say in his show, and I was just sitting there going, "It's going to be a matter of time, but they're going to take him off." And sure enough, he said the wrong thing, and the Grease Man show was no longer a thing.
Right? And you never get any news. It's like on Tuesday you listen to the Grease Man show, and then on Wednesday you come in at 9:00 to listen to the Grease Man show, and it's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure show now. It's somebody completely different, right?
Yeah. We had oh my God, I never will forget this. My senior year of high school, which was 1980, I really just did date myself. We had the same radio station, Z93 here in Atlanta. We had a couple of DJs. It was called the Ross and Wilson Show. And we thought they were just cool as all get up. And unfortunately, this was during the period of time in Atlanta when we had a serial killer that was killing children.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't like one or two. They was like 7 or 8 killing of children. They never could find out who was doing it, and finally, they had they caught who they thought had done it, and well, before they caught it, they were Ross and Wilson got on one morning, and they said, "We're going to dedicate this next song to the missing children that they couldn't find who was the serial killer, to the missing children in Atlanta." And the song was, oh my God, it was very untasteful, but it was Queen, Another One Bites the Dust.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Look, I mean, y'all look it up. I mean, look that up. It was just terrible. Which, at the time, I'm a senior in high school, and I'm probably sitting in the parking lot, toking a number and, fixing to go in. And I thought, that was, at the time we thought it was funny. Now I'm a 62-year-old man. I thought that was the most distasteful thing that could ever be done. But anyhow, the next morning we're sitting in the parking lot, of course, getting ready to go into school, toking another number probably. And we're waiting on the Ross and Wilson show to come on. And the program director come on and said, for those of you that are waiting for the Ross and Wilson show, they are no longer employed with the Z93 here in Atlanta, Georgia. And due to what they said that morning, and they fired them. They walked in there and fired them on the spot that morning.
Good.
Yeah, it was good. And it was just, but it was, that was just,
Bad timing.
that was just terrible. Bad timing. for something like that. But
I found out that most of your radio stations are owned by these big advertisement companies, the companies that own the big signs, the big billboards, and all that.
oh yeah,
And they're owned by those companies. I'm
Yep,
trying to
they
think
are.
of a couple of them, but
Well, like iHeartRadio owns like half the stations out there right now.
yeah.
Mm.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
one of the biggest radio stations up here is owned by iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
Yeah, but terrestrial radio is certainly not what it used to be. Everybody's, streaming or downloading it, and plus you can say what you want. Even XM and those aren't really that popular anymore.
No.
Yeah, that's why you guys just listen to the Scale Model Car podcast on your way to work every day.
That's exactly right. Load in your
Which,
favorite YouTuber.
Which
and-
right now I think is a proper time for this. If you guys aren't listening to this right here, the Scale Model Car podcast, you need to listen to it. It's available on Spotify. And if y'all ain't getting you good, you need any good bringing that model up to the next level, go to MCV Products. Bring your model to life. And this old I don't know, Fred Henry's West Georgia Rods and Custom. Nah, don't watch him. Ain't no telling what he's going to be doing.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you what, Brian. I
you know-
think Fred just worked us right out of our commercial.
Yeah. Yeah, my commercial writing days are over now.
Oh God, no! Jason, BG, I really appreciate y'all putting up with me the other night. That was fun.
It was a blast.
I was really shocked. I got up Saturday morning, fixed a cup of coffee, and I was like, "Oh my God, anything ain't even been up for 14 hours." And I think I had like 190 views already on it. And I was
Nice.
like, wow,
Nice.
dang, that's pretty good.
Well, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it got a slow start while we're waiting for Matt's power to come back on.
Oh my God, wouldn't
I mean, there's always something. There's always
Papa
something.
Z
when we
says,
go
I
to-
wouldn't want to meet this group in a back alley. You'd be all right, Papa Z, as long as you didn't have any beer. If you had beer,
Dude.
I'd knock you on the head. But other than
I'm
that,
so old and tired. If you'll meet me in a back alley, I'm probably gonna be sleeping.
That's exactly right.
If you meet me in the back alley, probably because I'm buying model kits off of you.
Oh, God.
I can hear BG now. If you see me in the back alley, holler to Linda because I'm lost.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh no. I don't know if you've been around Linda at a show. You can just find her through echolocation, no problem.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
Mhm.
Well, it don't
Funny,
hurt when you're a goalpost and can just like scan over everybody's
Yeah.
head. There she is.
Funniest thing I ever seen was I think it was the first year that Brian and Lindy came to Acme, and Jeff Ciacanelli with Ferret Boy. Her and Jeff and Lindy they were hitting the vendor tables, and oh my God, they were just like, shoo, 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 shoo. I was like, holy shit, will y'all slow down? Shit.
Mhm.
And they were, but it was just, it's just, that's the fun of getting together with all y'all.
Well, then a little bit later in the day, we're hanging out with you and Charlie and Jeff and Dylan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And Dylan's like, I still got $200 on me. I haven't bought anything. And Linda's like, oh, you ain't doing this right. Come on. And she took
Come
him
on,
and
let's
taught him
go.
how to chop.
Yeah.
Took him by the hand.
He comes back with a whole stack of kits under his chin. Look what I got.
Yeah, he can't even carry them.
So Sluggo wants to know if you have to subscribe to Spotify to get the podcast. I don't believe you do, but you're gonna have ads. I
Yep.
think.
Yep, that they'll have ads that aren't part of the show in there.
Yeah.
And you can subscribe without paying for anything.
Yeah.
They have a free app, but yeah.
They do.
That's what I use.
Yeah.
And,
I used the free app for about a year and a half before I begged and pleaded with Heather to let me get the paid version because, dude, they would play 2 songs and then 5 commercials, and then they'd play 1 song and then 5 commercials. I was like, I can't.
might as well listen to the radio, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd say, okay, I'll share a secret with you guys and everybody who's listening. The only time I really listen to the radio was when it's Christmas time, because everybody's got that local station that plays Christmas music from like first week in November all the way up till Christmas Day or something like that. So I'm listening for when that's supposed to start happening, and then I'm there at like 7 o'clock in the morning with my coffee, waiting for that Christmas music to start. It's good.
Yeah.
Let's go. Get it
Joe, I
going.
see your question there, or your statement. I know you talked about going to Acme. I can't speak for Fred. That's Fred's show, that 10 questions. But I bet you, and I'd be willing to bet if you showed up to Acme next year that I'm sure Fred will be doing the 10 questions, and I'm sure he'd love to have you in there.
I sure would.
Yep, go ahead and
Sure
start
would.
filling out those request
Oh
forms
yeah,
now.
yeah. It's matter of fact, it's just gosh, it'll be here before we know it. But definitely, yeah, it's always a big, the Acme show. And when I do 10 questions at the Acme show, I mean, y'all will see when you get there. I know Mike's been there. Well, Jason hadn't, but he's seen me at shows. But that entire week is a flipping blur to me. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just,
It is.
but being,
Right on, Joe.
it's just, really it don't settle down for me until like a week after the show. And then I'm just kind of like,
Spun out.
damn, what happened? and,
Joe says he's got his flight and
Yeah, this
he's
year.
got his flight and
Acme's gonna
hotel all set up already.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
This
Cool.
year's going to be a good year. Bruce got his people bought him tickets to be able to go. So Bruce,
awesome.
Bruce Scott, the Bruce's Eclectic World will be there. Jason
Yep.
from the show's going to be there. We're going to do a lot. We'll do our show from there, and
Yep.
we're gonna have, it's going to be
Chuck's
a good one.
threatening
Well,
to
every
go.
year's a
but
good one, but it's always fun to get new people.
Chuck's
Chuck's
threatening
threatening
to
to go,
go.
but he's threatening to go, but most likely I'll probably be the only one representing our podcast out there.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And
So
Chuck,
maybe I'll have to crash Mikey's podcast.
there you go, crash mine. Well, ours, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll crash yours. Wait. Oh, well,
Yeah,
That's the crappy part about having 2 weeks off per year, right? I have 2 weeks off paid. So if I want to go, so this year we want to go to Arizona. So if we're saving the money to go to Arizona, that's going to take all the time. All the money is going to be on that trip, right? So now, I'm not going to NNL East. I can't do Acme and a big trip in the same year. I just can't make it happen. That being said, 2026 is going to be my year for Acme, I think.
Right on.
Well,
Yeah.
I will be there. Good Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise.
Yep.
I tried.
That's another southern euphemism.
That's right. I tried to reserve for next year. Well, now this year, while I was at last year's, and she's like, "You got to wait until like a couple months or something." I think we had to wait till like November or something.
Yep. Bless your heart.
Have you tried?
That's another southern euphemism. Bless
Yeah.
your heart.
Yeah.
Mike,
When I
have you
went down
tried
to
sliding-
visit,
It can be used in two different ways. It's
I was
either
going to say,
bless
when I
your
went down to
heart.
Jack's,
Yeah.
yeah, Jack's Con, I was told by Matt, listen, if anybody down here looks at you and says, bless your heart,
Yeah.
they're not being nice.
I
I was like, oh, okay.
No, it's
And you're
usually
like, Heather just said that to me 4 times today.
it's really a southern way of saying F you.
Mike, next time you're trying to make your hotel reservation, try sliding a 50 across the table.
Right? Maybe that'll work. I got one anyway. I called them and they hooked me up. But
At the
November
host
or
hotel?
whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
They.
We were making the reservation for the host hotel while we were driving out to California for a different show.
I have good luck with them this thing. I mean, it was a good time. And how convenient, right? It's literally right across the street.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy convenient.
And then I had to tell Mike some good places to eat at.
Yes, you did.
I'll tell you what. Matter of fact, I think my brother's birthday is the 24th, and I think we're either going up there to the 8-Track Grill or the Appalachian Grill, which is just right up the next block right there. Matter of fact, the Appalachian Grill and 8-Track are owned by the same guy. So, but I think we're going to go.
We
up
went
there.
to a barbecue place that's right across the street from the high school stadium. That place was the second time we've been there. That place is amazing. But you got to get there early because they run out of brisket fast.
Across from in Cartersville.
Yeah. It's a
Oh,
little
I know. Yeah.
I am not going to go to billboards. Jesus, I can't speak.
Yeah, I know where you're talking about. Yeah.
That place
Hold
is
on.
amazing.
That high school.
Yep.
That high school stadium. That's Cartersville High School. You know who a graduate is that's in the NFL now that played football at that high school.
Who?
Trevor Lawrence with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No way.
Yeah, he played high school football. I watched him play high school football up there. I've stood there and watched him throw passes from the one end zone to the other. I mean, that boy has got a rocket launcher on him.
He's got a cannon.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's awesome. It must be mind blowing to watch something like that. You know, a high school kid do that and then go on to become
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a
cool.
big deal.
Yeah, he is and he is a very humble little fella too. Well, he ain't little. He's about 6'7". So,
Oh, he's my size.
oh yeah, y'all see eye to eye.
But now I will
Okay.
tell you this: if you're in Cartersville and you get there a day early, and you want to do some sightseeing,
I know exactly where you're fixing to say.
be sure and go down to the really beautiful courthouse. The way Cartersville is laid out, like the hub of the town. You could tell that it used to be a railroad-based town because the hub, everything is cool downtown, right at the railroad tracks,
Yep.
up to and including this beautiful courthouse and church right next door.
Mm-hmm.
Now, be careful because if you make the same mistake I made, you're going to get a visitor. I decided to take some great pictures of the courthouse. I didn't realize at first that I was standing in back of the courthouse. That's how beautiful this place is, right? The backside of the courthouse is beautiful. So I'm taking pictures, and of course, the backside of a courthouse is where they bring the criminals in and out for their court cases and whatnot. And I'm taking pictures around the side of the courthouse and the front of the courthouse and the street and in the church and the surrounding areas. And then I get back in my excursion and I start heading across town. And I'm here to tell you, I'm here to tell
I
you
remember
that
this. I remember
the
this.
Georgia Highway Patrol apparently dropped out of an apple tree because that was the only other thing around me. He dropped out of the apple tree and pulled me over. And as soon as he did, I realized I was just walking around taking pictures of the courthouse. I said, this guy's trying to figure out if I'm a tourist. But no, wrote me a $17 ticket for not wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah, they're.
But it was funny. He came out.
Yeah, they're kind of picky about that.
17 whole dollars.
I guarantee you, if you could have, you may have been able to use your pawn, your get out of jail free card, because I was probably know who it is.
Probably. He was a younger guy, but yeah, he.
Most of them, I know a lot of them. Let me just put it that way.
I couldn't believe. Literally, I mean, he just came out of nowhere. I was just flabbergasted. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I knew I wasn't doing anything wrong, but
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe. I'm like, oh my God, where did you come from? I'm a truck driver with over 3 million miles. I'm usually pretty good at spotting cops. I'm usually pretty good at that. And if it wasn't my truck driver experience, I drove around drunk for years, so I knew to look for cops. But I don't recommend it. I'm just saying this is true.
No, it's not good.
Is this the truth camera time? I didn't realize it was the truth camera time. Tim Pete says he's just going to crash in the parking lot.
I didn't even see you.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, another hot spot to go check out is Old Car City because that cost us what, $60 to go in there and look around.
$30 a ticket.
Yep.
Brian, you know what? Brian, I remember growing up. I grew up in this area, so I remember going up there and picking parts out of that same junkyard with my uncles, even myself. When I got old enough to drive, I remember going up there and pull parts from that very place. Seen
Yeah.
probably one of the biggest copperhead snakes I ever seen in my life up under there. My uncle and I went up there one day. He had an old Ford pickup truck, and I forgot what we were pulling. And what they would do is they'd tell you where the parts, where the part was at, and they would go out there. If you had to get up under it, they would just go out there with an old wrecker and just pick the front end of it or the back end of it up under, get up under there, and you had to take it out yourself. And my uncle, it was during, spring of the year, everything, that slithers, Mr. No shoulders are out and moving around. My uncle said, just be careful before you get up under one. And I started to crawl up under there. Next thing I know, he drags me out by my feet. And he said, and pointed up under there as he's pulling his snub nose 38 out. And just pow,
Jeez.
pow, 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 5-shot revolver, pow, 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 pow. And he reaches up under there and pulls out this bloody, 4.5 foot, big as my arm, copperhead. And he's like, now get up under there and get that. It was rear end, was pulling rear end up from under or something. I was like, nah, I'm going to sit in the truck.
That you can stay there.
I'm just
Yeah,
going to sit in the truck.
Thanks for telling me that because I was walking around out there with shorts,
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
and
Same.
I think my colon just seized.
Sphincter muscle just went.
I was speaking factor 5 over here. I'm not doing that again.
Oh, boy. But yeah,
You guys notice we got royalty in the chat? Model
Tim's
car
here.
royalty.
Tim
Oh,
Kalakowicz is in there.
Yeah,
He was the one that turned me on to that old car city.
uh-huh.
same here.
He was
He was like,
supposed
"I'm
to
gonna go
be. He was
hide and
supposed
jump
to
out,
be us
scoop
there
you
at
down."
7:00 in the morning, but he was a little late.
Wow, I got there.
He
We
may or
were
may
off
not
for
have had
lunch
a good
together.
time the night before. But it was fun. It's just that's a lot of walking.
Well, that's a big it's a big junkyard. I mean,
It
it
was a
used to
big
be.
junkie.
And I'm here to tell you, there's thousands. Well, they used to be. It's got now. They the state of Georgia kind of frowns with about junkyards around here, and you have to have a big fence out in the front. You can't be seen. So, and then they start, calling out the environmental factor of it. Oh, it's bad for the environment. A lot of things are bad for the environment. But
The owner was telling us that he ended up making more money charging people to go
doing
back
that.
there and just look than he did
Yeah.
for selling cars. But
Yeah.
there's some really nice cars back there.
Oh yeah,
I mean, they're too far gone now, I think, for
Oh,
the
yeah.
most part. But
yeah. Or you
I
got a
found
tree.
3 Grabber Mustangs. Or
Yeah.
excuse me, Grabber
Oh.
Mavericks. 3
Yeah.
Grabber Mavericks back there.
There was
Was
three
one of them
Corvettes.
red
Yeah, there was a red one, a blue one, and
Blue
like
one.
a yellow one.
and a yellow one? God, them things have been back there forever.
Those
I
are
remember
true
the.
V8 Grabber Mavericks. Those are not
Uh huh.
everyday Mavericks.
Yeah.
And the farther you go back, the older they get.
Tim Kalankwist just said he said he believed he got it reclassified as a historic place. He did.
That explains the charge costs.
Right. hmm It's actually a historical mark.
But it was
Landmark.
me and Mike and Linda and Cliff and
Ted.
and Sam, right? Was it
No,
Sam?
Ted.
Ted,
Ted
sorry,
from
Ted.
Ted Cars and Guitars.
Yeah, Ted Starzing. And I'm the first one to sign in. I'm like, how much? And the guy goes, 30. I'm like, oh, you know what? For the 5 of us, sweet. I'll cover that right now. He goes, each.
No.
I'm like,
Each.
and I did my best to keep my mouth because it almost came rolled out. You're a whore. Or I mean, excuse me, what?
Well, it was
That-
that really awkward silence because they were all standing there
Yeah.
looking at each other going,
Right.
$30. We
Yeah.
didn't say anything out loud, and I'm like,
Because I'm
Well,
sitting there
we're
going,
here.
that's a model kit. I
Right.
just reduced my stash haul by 1 model kit to be here. But I tell you what, my buddy Scott Inman, him and his wife, they walked the whole thing from front to back, east, west, north, and south. and he photographed everything. They were there for hours.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be seen in there.
Mm-hmm.
Up towards the front where the whole cars were was where I started getting interested. He had two 65 Dodge Dart GTs up there that looked like you could fire them off and drive them home. And
Really?
I had a 65 Dart and I want another one so bad, but those were really nice cars.
Well,
Really.
me and Mike were a little bit rough from the night before still.
Ugh.
So we went back out to our cars and sat in our cars and texted each other. And then we're like, why don't we text each other? We just roll the windows down and start hollering at each other.
True story. We're both sitting in our own vehicles with the air conditioner blowing. Literally, if I rolled down my passenger window and leaned out, I could have tapped on his window, but we're texting each other back and forth.
Meanwhile, Linda was hunting for someplace for lunch.
Yep.
Good times.
That was definitely a good time. We ended up at Savoy. They had the moonshiner rigs there at Savoy. That was really
Oh yeah, that was when they had
But
this.
then the Moonshine Club showed up also. They were out back.
Yeah. That's right. I forgot about that.
They had some sweet cars out there.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Which that was a big thing back in the day.
Back in the day.
My namesake, Uncle Fred Wood. He was one of the bigger ones around in this area, as far as the three counties of Paulding, Haralson, and Bartow. He produced a lot of shine.
Yeah, I thought that was cool though. They had like I said, we were sitting there, and then the Moonshine Club shows up with their cars, and I'm like, this is perfect timing.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they have for an exhibit this time.
Which we do a lot as far as the Acme Club. We do a lot at the Savoy. I haven't seen the schedule this year for it. It's still kind of early in the year, but we as a club we go up there about 4 or 5 times a year and host. We do builds with the kids and everything. And
That's cool. You would do the make and takes, right?
yeah, making takes. Thank you. I was struggling there, buddy.
Yeah, I was following along.
Excuse me. Yeah, I had a certified old fart moment there.
That's cool. That Atlanta show. What do you call it? AtlantaCon? What's that one like, Fred? If you could compare it to, I mean, it's not. I know it's not an Acme. Is it more like a JaxCon type thing?
Yeah,
or what?
yeah. It's a true, so there's a lot of armor. There's a lot of armor there. It's got a big car presence now, and but yeah, it's fun. It's a good day. It's a good day of.
I'm looking to try to get to some more shows. I know there's enough shows around that I could be going to one at least once a month, especially in the springtime and into the summer.
That's what I try to shoot for each year. I try to hit the ones that, like the, January we did Hope It Don't Snow in Spartanburg, and
I've been wanting to get to that show.
Yeah, this month we did JaxCon. Next month will be AtlantaCon. The month after that will be Simpsonville.
You need to come to PamsCon.
I do. Well, yeah, that's I'm gonna have to do away with one in order to get to another. Because we like getting away. I mean, we like getting away to a lot of these shows. Vicky has no problem at all entering the state of Florida.
Last night I seen you guys at JaxCon. It was funny. She was looking at me, and she finally says, "I know who you are now." I'm like, we've been sitting here across from each other for 3 hours, and you're just now figuring it out. That was funny. She said, "You were the guy that was so matter of fact in the at the Acme show." I'm like, "Okay, I'm down."
Okay.
It was funny. The look on her face, it was like it all came to her all at once. Oh, I know who you are.
I know who you are. I had been I had told her, prior to us coming down, I said no, which I refer to you as Mini Mike,
Right.
and I said you met him last year at JaxCon, and well, and
Yep.
she's the same way. I get her down there, with Tom's wife, Susan, and all the girls, and they're just like, okay, the boys are out of our hair. Let's, we're gonna let
Yeah,
our hair
right.
down a little bit. So,
So they're having fun.
but once I showed her your picture, she's like, oh yeah, I remember him. And until she gets face
Yeah.
front of you, she's like totally clueless sometimes.
I can be bad about that too. I mean, I know who I know, but sometimes you see somebody and then you're not sure. You're like,
Oh
I
yeah,
think I know who that is, but not
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I know
Hey, what's
who I
up,
know.
Kevin Smith? Good to see you, buddy.
Good evening, Kevin. Kevin. That's just every time I see him, I always think of that. Kevin.
My brother-in-law's named Kevin, and when they're out visiting, I hear it a lot.
Come on.
All right, what else am I doing? Oh, I've already done that side. Oh, we've got to finish this one. All right, another strip.
Just one more. Just one more.
Just one more strip. What are we? We're an hour and 20 minutes into this,
Yeah.
and all I have got done is this rain gutter and this side right here, and fixing to finish this side and the rain gutter and the other. I was fixing to call it what my mother used to call these, the little vent windows that opens out.
Cigarette windows.
No. Well, my mother did smoke, but that wasn't what she called them. That was a crotch cooler.
Okay.
I mean, that was my mom.
That's
She would,
cool.
yeah, she would. We had every car that we had up until about 70, whenever they quit making them. Mother, of course, she did smoke in the car with us, and that was,
Oh yeah, well, I did too.
she thought, yeah, but she would. We'd be going down the road, and she almost stopped doing this. You'd run your air conditioning, but it cost, it took a strain on the motor. So Dad was like, "Oh, we'll just open up all the windows, and Marty, you just take the crotch coolers and open them up." Well, we would sit there and I'd watch Mom. She'd take and just turn it all the way in to where the air would be diverted toward her, and she'd be letting it blow up her dress. Then I understood. Oh, I know why they call them crotch coolers now. And Mom, we were going up to the North Carolina mountains, and Mom, it was during the spring, and a big old fat bumblebee hit
Oh
the
no.
window. Yeah, and it bounced. Didn't go into where what she called it, the crotch cooler. It went into her brassiere, bra.
Oof.
She called them brassieres. Went in my brassiere, and we had to pull over. Dad slung that 1970 Chevy Impala sideways into a parking area, and Mom's out there showing what she's got. She's like, "Get
She don't
that
care. That
thing
beat's
out
got
of
to
here!"
go.
Yeah, she's like, "Get this thing out of here! It's killing me." And
Shoot up amongst us. One of us got to
yeah,
have some relief.
yeah. Oh God, I ain't heard that in years. The great Jerry Clower,
Just Jack Cloud.
Marcel
Yes,
Ledbetter, Marcel
Yazoo City,
Ledbetter.
Mississippi.
All right. That is going to suck big time.
A little bit of a history lesson about Yazoo and Macomb, Mississippi. What famous rock and roll band crashed there?
Where
When you
at?
say crash, do you mean like crash and burn or hung out?
Airplane crash.
Oh, would that be Leonard Skinner?
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Tell him what he won, Johnny.
Is it Rice-A-Roni? I could use some.
No, Vicky's in there using it right now. Sorry.
Oh,
But you're welcome to dinner.
I was thinking of Sam Kinison. Get your Rice-A-Roni at the door. Get the hell out of here.
Yep. That's where the Leonard Skinner plane crashed. Was right there, just right outside of Yazoo City, home of Jerry Clower. Hmm. I'm sitting here reading what Mark Jones. They need to seriously get the chats linked up so I don't need to be into chats at once. What's happening, Mark?
I was just explaining it to him. The only ones that can see both chats at the same time
Is us.
is the four of us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
depending on which channel they log on to, like it's because it's simulcast to both mine and Jason's. So
Yeah.
if they come in on Jason's, they can't see
The people in
Mark.
yours. Yeah.
Right, and vice versa.
Yeah, I'm on Mike's watching the chats right now.
I'm watching Mike's. I'm watching the phone actually. I got my phone. I got the laptop. Well, this is the
Yeah.
laptop. That's the phone over there.
So, and that
Whew,
reminds
that's
me, we
always tough.
touched on it earlier. Fred, do you know? And BG asked the question. Do you know how BG can see both chats? How to get it? Because he's on his computer. I know how to do it on a smartphone, but he's on his computer, and I know you use your computer for StreamYard. And there's a way for him to see what I'm looking at and what Jason's looking at and what I assume you're looking at.
All right,
But he
let me
just-
look at. All right, let me comments. Actually, I'm having to compare here. I'm watching Mike's channel.
Same
I
here.
thought you were watching it with the.
Well,
I mean, I know
am.
one sure way to make it happen. but-
Well, I do too. I could watch one on my laptop and go over here to
Yeah.
my phone.
whatever device you're using as your camera, it should be the one that has
Yeah.
the chat for both chats combined.
So I'm just watching this. I'm watching you all through screen.
Blue Ox, what's your channel? I don't think I'm subscribed to you. I'm just kidding. Oh God. I'm just kidding. Come on, fingers. I got something. Probably that dang Blue Ox. Sheesh. There. Oh God Almighty! Damn it! About unsubscribed you, brother. There we go. Now
You unsubscribed from me.
I am. No, I said I almost unsubscribed because
dang.
I just looked you up in the hit the magnifier and I just typed in blue and it said Blue Box and then your thing pulls up and it says subscribe because if you touch that you're already subscribed to them. If
Yeah.
you touch it again, it'll say unsubscribe, and I'll be like, oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Man, there's all kind of folks over there in yours.
Yes, sir.
You must
Yeah,
have a
Jason's
popular...
way more popular than I am.
I was
People like
fixing
him.
to
He's a
say,
nice
you
guy.
must-
I'm not.
Same here.
I don't even know why people watch me.
It's for the colorful commentary.
Colorful commentary. Well, I have been known to have some colorful stuff going on.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Well, unfortunately, we didn't take anything home this time, but we're gonna build something bigger and better and come back and hit them again and see if they like that. But I did get 2 check marks on my. We were making the joke earlier. I got 2 check marks. They definitely checked it out. So
2 check marks.
I got 2 check marks.
Oh,
Yep,
God.
we saw your crap.
After
Yeah.
the third one, you're not allowed to come back.
That's it. But Fred, you'll appreciate this. After the video I did and talking about it, Mr. Lewis saw my video and reached out to me and wants to set something up, or either I go up there or figure it out. He wants to see if he can help a little bit with my paint skills, which I thought was very kind of him to
Oh, wow.
reach out. Lewis is an amazing builder.
Oh, my gosh. You ain't kidding. Him and he just, I really think the world of him and Cynthia. Cynthia's funny.
She is funny.
She is a nut.
We were laughing about last year. Well, at Acme, I had that bourbon, and she really liked that bourbon. But when we were doing the AMC live cast, she didn't want to interrupt, but I was holding the bottle. So the next thing I know, from out of nowhere, here comes this little hand holding a glass. I can't see who it's connected to, but I'm pretty sure I know who it is. So I just filled up her
Oh,
glass, and she
God.
pulled it back out. It's pretty funny.
Oh, thank you all. When we were all in there doing a group picture after the show, we was all in there, and she was she was, had somebody's phone, and she was like, "All right, that deep Colombian accent
Right.
she's got." She was like, "Okay, everyone, look at the birdie," and she was shooting a bird.
Yep.
I
remember
was like, "Oh my god, girl!"
He's perfect.
Yep.
Oh my.
An entertaining person, definitely.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure. And Lewis is just such a quiet guy. Those two
Oh, yeah.
Mustangs that he built, man,
Oh
those
my
are
god.
those things are
just-
stunning.
yeah, those are off the chain. He did he took one of Miguel's from Miguel Hidalgo's files. Miguel printed him up a 30, I think it was a 37 Ford, and oh my god, that thing was just beautiful. But it's the one that that Miguel printed up and sold the entire kit as a whole, and he just did that justice with that one.
Miguel is the Miguel's renderings
Yes.
were the inspiration behind the 54 Hudson that I built.
Yeah. I remember you told me that.
He did a bunch of renderings of them because you don't see much of it, right? But he had apparently either him or his dad had one when he was young or whatever, and he really he's really fond of them.
Okay, I got to point this out, guys. Check this out.
I didn't do it, I swear.
Hang on,
Go to
just
the
a sec.
instructions here.
Hang on, BG. We're gonna pull you up on the big
Yeah,
screen
I
so we
got
can
it.
see it.
All right, there we go.
All right, so do up all the interior stuff, right? And then they want you to put the body on the chassis down here. And then you flip the whole thing over and then start fitting out the underside of the chassis after everything's put together.
Wow.
That's different.
It
Yeah.
makes perfect sense, doesn't it? No, not at all. Not even a little bit.
Ain't that something?
I'm like,
That is
okay,
something.
I'm
well,
gonna.
whatever you say, you're the boss.
I'll be back. I'll be back just in a minute. I got to pull a Jason like I did Jason the other night.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was a good thing Fred was telling the short versions of the stories on Recording Friday.
Yes, it was actually.
I watched
Looking
that
good.
show when he released it. That was funny, man. I laughed about that.
It's a lot of fun
10
doing that,
questions
but
with a
it's a
modeler
hell
is
of a lot
always
more
gonna be
fun in
fun.
person.
Yeah, well, nothing will ever beat the Acme 10 questions with a modeler until
Nope.
somebody can come up with something better than those helicopter pasties for Sarge.
Oh,
Is
if somebody comes up with something better, I hope it's not on that level.
That is truly better, not just more disgusting and gut wrenching.
Exactly.
That was hilarious, though. That was funny.
Cliff.
Good old Cliff. Bless his heart.
Bless his heart.
Oh, boy.
Prepare to be demonetized in 3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
Hey, what's going on?
Gotta love it, man. And then it seemed like, and maybe Pappy remembers, was it Kolinkowitz? Somebody came in after that, and they were having fun.
Oh yeah, Kalinkowicz and a couple of his buddies, and oh god, they were hilarious.
They were having fun too.
Whew. Jason, that was
Yes.
payback. That was payback for Friday night, brother, wasn't it?
Hey Fred, I was just telling Jason that he was lucky you were telling the short versions of all your stories on Friday.
Oh yeah, I can get long-winded, can't I?
This now 6 a.m. to plus.
But we had time to kill.
We sure did.
See as how Matt's power was off. Oh, my
You know,
God.
it wasn't your fault at all, Fred.
No, it wasn't.
It was Matt's.
Yeah, they line was cut or something, wasn't
Something like that.
it? Yeah.
Kevin, BG is working on a what is that? A Subaru rally car, BG?
Oh, this is a Toyota. Here, let me show the box again.
Hang on, let me get you up here on the big
Hold on
screen.
a second. This guy,
There you go. That's what he's working on.
which is actually a Hasegawa kit. So this is a little better than I thought it would be, except for the reversed instructions.
Kevin got here a little bit late. Wasn't sure what you were working on, so he thought it said it looked like a Mini Cooper, but I know you've been working on that. What is that, a 148 scale Mini Cooper that you're working on, BG?
Ooh, my little guy here. This dude is. I don't want to touch him too much. Hang on a second. This little guy here is 143rd scale.
Oh, wow.
He is
As a
tiny.
matter of fact, I did the interior just the other day, and I did a semi-gloss coat on this.
Mm-hmm.
That is teeny.
It is teeny. I have to find a sewing, like a pin, and put that in there for the shift lever,
There you go.
like a straight pin. That'll work perfectly for that.
All right, Sluggo, be safe. Have a good night, buddy. We'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us.
See you, Sluggo. Enjoy
So
it.
long, Sluggo.
Yes, Sluggo.
All right, where'd my glasses go? There they are. Mike, I know
Sir?
you haven't seen this. You know, after we left JacksCon, I always get inspired after leaving JacksCon. Any model show, for all that matters. Well, I had a wild hair
Uh-oh.
come about me. I had, after, you know, receiving what Tom did for me, I sat and got to looking at it. Anytime I look at an old Tom build, I really get inspiration. So, with that being said, I walked out into the vast West Georgia Rods and Customs junkyard and pulled out the old 32 Ford 3-1 coupe, which this is not a Jimmy Flintstone. This is a chop top that I did.
Right. This is the one you're doing the how-to, the documentary thing on.
Right, and this is where I'm at right now with it. Everything is blended in. I even got the. I mean, you can see everything as far as the body lines are all back scribed in. All that.
Nice.
I mean, it's really turning. So I got really inspired with it this morning and just went ahead and pulled the fenders, the frame. I'm thinking, I don't know yet, hadn't decided on this frame or possibly another donor frame, but getting that up there like that. Maybe not as wide. But the wheels from MCV Products, of course, right there.
Nice.
That's the
Open spokes.
wire wheels that Matthew sells. Getting them tucked up under there, getting a real low and mean rake to it. Painting it gloss black, red interior. Kind of wanted y'all's input. What do y'all think about, of course, fenders black, gloss black, everything gloss black. Having the firewall, painting it like a cream white.
Ooh.
Oh, with the black, that would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I think that would be good if you had that color replicated someplace else on the car too.
That's what I was thinking too.
It's like if you did the wheels that color.
Well,
Yeah,
either I thought about red. Let me pull the wheels back down, or a wheel. I thought about doing the spokes in red, and then this outer band right here, which is a separate piece, doing
White.
that chrome. No, doing that chrome.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I'm up for suggestions, and then doing the center cap, of course, chrome. But that's a dang. Mike just said, do the band white. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, do the. Now you're matching your interior. You're matching
Yeah.
your
The firewall.
yeah. And
How
then
about the
you
rear?
can-
How about the rear housing? The rear end, solid white,
Yeah, that would because
Yeah,
you're going to see
solid
or
that.
or the cream. I'm just spitballing
Yeah.
right now.
What color is the frame's going to be?
Possibly a matte, semi-gloss.
Black?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Then doing a Ford engine. Maybe. Well, I don't know. Maybe
the
do the
accent
engine. Maybe do
colors.
the engine red. I mean, I don't know. I'm spitballing it right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's but this is
I think
this,
to do the firewall white's a great idea because it's a good contrast color.
mhm.
And then
Yep.
like maybe the outer ring of the tires and the axle house, something you're gonna have to put it some. I guess my point being, you're gonna have to put it somewhere else, not just on the firewall.
Right, not just
But you
on the
don't want-
firewall.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
don't want it to be a dominant thing.
No, mm-mm.
But
More
with a
subtle.
chrome
that's-
center cap, red spokes, and a white ring, I think that would tie everything together. Your
Yeah,
interior
and then-
red, your white,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think
And then
This
doing
is-
that
This is
center.
where the artistic eye comes in because you need to replicate that color someplace else on the car.
Right.
So it carries through as a theme, and you don't want to get too many colors into it because
No,
then it gets a little muddied
Yeah.
up.
Gets a
It's
little
busy.
busy. Brian, do you remember remember one of the questions in 10 questions that you fielded to
Yep. How many colors do you use on
how
a
many
model?
colors, yeah.
Yep.
And that was kind of where I was leading that. I mean, there's, you can I forget who said, it gets busy. You don't want your your build to be busy with several different colors like that.
that
That's
was
right.
a term you and I used at JaxCon too, Fred. When
Yeah,
you said your mom used that word a lot. Busy.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about detailing an engine and whatnot.
Yep.
No,
So
what I would do, well, okay, and this is what I would suggest is considering doing that cream color, but doing a checkerboard with the matte black
ooh,
Oh, that would be cool.
on the firewall.
on the firewall. Yeah,
That would be cool.
Ooh, might need.
Remember
might need
that checkerboard Henry J that was done a long time ago? It was white and orange.
Yeah. Let me reach over here and grab the firewall. Where's it at? Ooh, yeah.
It's funny that you were talking about the 32,
Yeah.
Fred. Paul from Left Coast has the Coast to Coast private group, and our year build is a 32. I'm collecting pieces and parts to build my very first 32.
Mhm.
I've got the Iceman Collections chassis with the lowering front end, and I just got the 7.3 liter Godzilla motor. I'm going to turn it into a Pro Touring 32 with that big motor in it, which should be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
once you
We'll
do your
see.
first
I'll
32, you
just-
never go back.
Kind of wanted to kind of spitball that off y'all a little bit. I always like hearing what other like-minded builders would do with that. Let me get that out of the way.
If you watched Jason's video this morning, he showed his two 32s that he did.
Yep.
And that blue one looks really good, Jason. I really like that blue one.
Mhm.
The blue one looks good, yeah. You gotta show the good, the bad, and the ugly, right?
Right.
That green one is
Whew.
bad and
Yeah.
ugly.
It looked good on camera, but I get it. Everybody said the 67 looked good, and then all I got was a check mark. So I wonder if it doesn't look
Check.
as good as I thought it did.
Check mark. Oh god.
I know where I made my mistake there. Tom was quick to point it out, and but he's also quick to compliment me on how far I had come.
That is true.
That's good.
Yeah, I didn't put enough clear coat on it. Is what it boils down to. But the paint didn't look like a golf ball, so I was happy about that part of it.
There you go.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more clear coat.
That's it. Next time, I'm just going to drop it in a 5-gallon bucket of clear coat, pull it out, and call it done.
No, you can overdo that.
You can.
When you start losing details. That's
Yeah,
when
right.
you got way too much.
So what you're saying is you shouldn't do like the military guys do and dip it
No.
in a vat of future.
Exactly.
Like they do their canopies.
Exactly.
Oh, Jason's talking about military. Shots fired.
Oh, he's
Shots
crossing
fired.
crossing over to the other side.
Yeah.
All right, Tin Man. Good night, buddy. Good seeing you.
Yes,
Daytona's
says,
back on.
Let me
Heck
turn
yeah.
around and see.
Subscribers. Ding, 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 ding.
We're at
Yeah,
lap
those are-
17 of 200.
Oh man, you guys
In other
are.
words, yeah, they must be just getting started.
That's gonna be going for a while.
I was fixing
Yeah.
to say the lights are probably on at Daytona right now. They're probably getting their eyes adjusted.
I was going to say, I would dare say so, because I can't see any light coming in through my window. So
Yeah, it's fixing to get. When I walked out for my little potty break just a minute ago, I opened the door and that baked ziti met me right at the door. I was like,
that sounds good.
yes. I just hope we got some garlic bread now.
Oh, I miss garlic bread.
Oh, I do too.
Well, he was talking about that early on before we went live. It was like, I ain't gonna say nothing about garlic bread. I said, that's right, because you know she'll send you to the store to get it.
I'll be happy to. It ain't like a store just right up about 2 blocks up the road here. But I'll get in there and get lost. First thing I do is go to the bakery and I'm like, hello, my friends.
Yeah.
That's me, man. I got a Publix right down the street from me, and every time she sends me there, I'm like, all right, I'll be back in 15 minutes. She said, no, you won't. You won't be back for a while.
Right? No, you won't.
We went out to dinner last night, and she always feeds me before we go to the grocery store. That way, I don't go through the grocery store and grab everything. Start just raking everything in the buggy. But as soon as we go into Kroger, of course, the first thing there is the vegetables, which I care less about them. And then the bakery, and she was like, "Keep your hands on the buggy the whole time." Yes, dear. And carrot cake. Oh, hello, carrot cake. Oh, apple fritters. Come on, fat boy.
Well, see, I got a pat on the back and then a kick in the back of the head all at the same time. I came back from Publix yesterday evening, and I was going to get snacks. I wanted a snack, and she told me, "Man, stay away from the candies and all that." I'm like, all right. So I came back with a bag of apples, green apples. I love Granny Smith apples.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, very good, right? As I pull them out, she's like super proud of me, right? Patting me on the back. Mm-hmm. And then right after that, I pulled out that half of, well, I don't know how big it is, but it's about 6 inches around, about 3 inches deep of caramel. She was like, that's what the caramel, in the back of the head. Wow. Like, yeah, you don't need that. Like, oh, yeah, I do. Oh, yeah, I gotta have that.
Mine is, well, of course. I mean, if it's sweet, I love it. But I always loved a Payday candy bar, and they don't, they don't make them little bitty thing. They make that buddy kind. It's about 8 inches long and about as big around as a Cohiba cigar. And I'm like, oh yes.
Have you had one of the chocolate covered Paydays?
Yes.
Those are life changing.
Yes. Yes. That was BD. You know what that stands for, Brian? Before diabetes. Before diabetes.
Before diabetes.
Yeah.
Yep, I had that marked on my calendar also. BD.
Yeah. Golly.
Before the diabetes.
It is. I mean, and just like Vicky and I was talking the other night, we were like, I did it to myself, and I'm just like, yeah, I did. Way to go, dummy.
Well, I am genetically predisposed for that stuff, apparently. Because all of my family has had it.
Yeah, mine too. My mother. Dad didn't have it, though. That was weird.
My mom didn't have it, but she was a carrier, I tell you what.
Yeah. Dad didn't have it, but my mother had it, and my brother, God bless his heart. Wait a minute, what was it? Oh, bless his heart. Bless his heart. But yeah, he's an epiphany of health. I mean, he turned 70 on the 24th of this month, and he's just happy-go-lucky. Hasn't got nothing wrong with him. Here I look like I walk around like I'm 75, and I just look at him and go, "It's the mileage."
It's 100%. It is the mileage.
It's the mileage.
Yeah, my brother's the same way. He's 10 years older than me. He races cars every weekend, works hard, does whatever, and gets around fine, does fine. Epitome of health. I'm 10 years younger than he is, and it hurts to bend over and put my socks on.
Well, you should do that a little farther away from the door then.
Right. Do something.
That's why I wear slip-ons. That way I got to tie them suckers up.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Skechers.
Right. Grandpa's shoes 20 years, 30 years ago, there's no way in the world we would have wore those. But now it's like, dude, get me 2 pairs.
Oh, man. Got to buy one and get one plan.
That's it. Can I get a discount?
Absolutely. How old are you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I got a senior citizen discount at the Del Taco earlier this last month.
Oh,
Nice.
good.
Nice.
Cool.
I'll take that 72 cents off my bill.
Yes, sir. Me too. Oh, yeah.
What's funny is I did it through the drive-through, so I'm like, "How did you know?"
Right.
Through the
You
drive.
sounded.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, what do I talk to? The little box? Hello,
Okay, Grandpa. We'll get you a
Linda?
discount.
Linda, who do I talk to? Linda."
Uh,
Let me tell y'all this little. Oh my God, I knew I'll forget this. This was before I even met. This was BV before Vicky.
Before Vicky.
Yeah, this is before Vicky. It was during my second marriage. I decided. Let's see, how old would I have been? Let's see, I've been with Vicky about 15 years now, so I'm 62. I was probably about in my mid 40s, and I decided I had an I had an '07 Dynawide Glide, so I figured I was going to take me a sabbatical and ride the Blue Ridge Parkway all the way. I couldn't get nobody to go with me, so I was just like, screw it, Me and my ex-wife, me and my soon-to-be ex-wife, we were having problems at the time, and I hopped on my, come home from work, packed my Harley because she had her own. She didn't want to go, so packed my Harley and off we go on this little adventure. And the first stop was just right outside of Asheville on the Blue Ridge Parkway. It's a little town called Little Switzerland, North Carolina, and had a hell of a time. I mean, they had a bar there my bar tab was more than my hotel room. So I had a great time there that night. Then the next night, I take on off, go up the Blue Ridge Parkway a little bit further, and I made it to Roanoke, Virginia. And I decided to stay at a Holiday Inn that night. And I pulled in off the Parkway, pulled into the Holiday Inn, walked in. I looked like a Hell's Angel. I had my chaps on, had short, sleeves was off, had my vest on. And I come in there and told them I wanted a room. Y'all got a bar? Yes, okay. So went in there and had dinner that night. Stayed at the bar again. My bar tab was more than my room. And the next morning, I get up and they slid the bill up under my door because I was getting ready to leave. And I looked, walked over there, grabbed the bill, picked it up, and it said room rate, such and such, bar tab, restaurant bill, adjusted rate, AARP. I'm like, you got to be damn kidding me. Do I look this rough? I walked over to the mirror, and I did look kind of rough. I had a 3-day growth beard, and I walk down. Anyhow, I take the bill. I go down. Of course, they're like, "Oh, good afternoon or good morning, Mr. Henry. How was your night stay?" And da 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 da. So I was doing good till I seen this, and I slid the bill over with my driver's license too. And you'd seen the guy start doing the mental math, and he was just like,
Put the net up.
"You're not. No, I'm not. I'm not AAR or I'm not a member of AARP yet. I am now though. So,
I do
but
not
he was just like, "Well, we're still going to give you this room rate," and I was like, "Appreciate it." So I took that, snatched it off the wrist, and I just went on. But yeah,
I'm not old. I'm experienced.
I am.
That's it. There's a difference.
I'm
So
like a
different.
wine. Yeah, very experienced.
I don't know. I told my girl the other day that she aged like wine. She told me that I aged like milk. And I think she was 100% right.
I can relate to that too.
Mhm. Well, gentlemen, we're creeping up on our 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
That way,
We'll go ahead and do our sign-offs. We like to start with the new guys signing off first. Fred, you got any plugs, any shout-outs you want to do, or anything you want to
I'd really like to thank everybody that puts up with me on all of my videos. Really do appreciate the support of not only just all of my subscribers, you guys especially, Mike, Jason, BG, y'all would just really mean the world to me, and helping my channel along the way. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be doing this. I mean, it's just like-minded friends like y'all. But everybody that's been watching the 10 questions, we plan on continuing this series this year. We're going to open up a couple of new doors of not just at shows. It'll be like what we did last Friday night with the Scale Model Car podcast guys. With that crew, we did a episode with them. We're going to open it up to a lot of the other podcasts that we watch regularly and see where that takes us. But if you see me at a show or anything like that, of course, I always ask for a shop card, sticker, and see if I am possibly going to be doing a 10 questions with a modeler. More than likely, I will. And then throughout the year, I'm going to be asking for a lot of input from everybody out there that are YouTube content creators of questions that I might want to that I might need y'all's help. I can't continue writing all these questions. I'm running out of material. But if you do send in something and I use it on the 10 questions modeler, I always make sure that you get the billing. When I say billing, it means I will let people know whose question this is, and I will pay it forward with that. But Mike, really do appreciate you having me on this evening.
Absolutely.
And
I can definitely speak to you giving credit for questions asked, because if you watch the video where Mr. Henry is questioning the Scale Model Car podcast guys, Fred stumbled on his words a little bit and he started to say mini or little, and then if you look at everybody's face on the camera when they do it, especially my friend Jason's, they're like, oh no, here comes a question from Mike. Oh no, what's he going to ask?
Oh my God, that's funny. And two, y'all, well, with me and BG, you get me and him together. We're up in the clouds. I mean, we're looking down on you guys. So, not because you're beneath us, it's because we're taller than y'all.
Exactly right.
But
listen, Mikey, let me give you some advice. Next time you're in the same room as BG and Fred, do what I did at JaxCon. Get yourself a chair and then stand on it.
Yeah, because there's nothing like standing next to Mr. BG in the center of the host hotel at Acme, and he calls himself the goalpost. And I'm like, well, if you're the goalpost, what am I? And he looks down and he looks over at his beautiful wife and he looks back at me and he says, the football. And I know that was something to do with my shape. Not so much my height, but my shape.
I got to tell you, Mrs. BG refers to you as like, oh, you going to do a live stream of football today? Sure am.
That's funny. That's funny. When I was at JaxCon, it was Fred and
Brian
and Matthew Inman, all tall guys, right? And they're like, hey, come here, we're going to go live. And I was like, hold on.
We did a live.
I climbed up on it.
We did a live on my channel, and I sat down. Me and Matthew sit down in the chairs right there in the middle, and Jason comes up behind us, so we give him that moment of height right there.
Yeah, that was good.
Just a ball cap walking around in the background.
If you remember last year, Fred, at JaxCon when we met for the first time, Fred was doing a live and he's holding the phone out. Not doing a live. Yeah, he was doing a live or was on somebody's live, something anyway.
Yeah.
And he's got the phone out here like this in front of him, holding it. And then he was like, oh yeah, because he's like, oh, there's Brian and maybe whoever was there, Papa Z, whoever was there. And he's like, oh yeah. And I was standing next to him and he was like, oh yeah. And he had turned the phone down and like, Mike's here too. I'm like, hi.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're hanging out in the patio, me and Mike, right? And folks are just standing around, milling around stuff over at Acme. And I'm like, oh, so-and-so's here. And Mike's like, where? And I said, oh, so-and-so's here. He's like, who? Where? Like, over there. I can't. And he's like trying to look over people. What? It's like, just look in between them, man.
Hold me up, up, up. I
Yeah,
just
hold
kept
your-
looking at him, hold him arm,
Up.
up.
Up, my child. Up, my
Yeah.
child.
Right.
Right. Let's just do a recreation of Dirty Dancing right here.
Right. Mr. BG, you got anything you want to plug? Anything you want to say before we shut this
Oh.
thing off?
Yeah. Thanks everybody for stopping by and hanging out with us for the couple of hours where we did a little bit of work. And Fred did his tutorial on bare metal foil there. But check me and Jason out and a couple of other guys that we like to talk to once in a while on the Scale Model Car podcast. And also watch more of this crap on BG's Model Workshop down here on the YouTubes.
On the
Sounds
YouTubes.
And Mr. Jason?
Thanks everybody for tuning into these. It's been a huge success, Mike. It really, and it's a cool thing that we're doing. And I'm very happy that I was able to make it this week. I didn't think I was going to. So that's really cool. Just you guys keep doing what you're doing out there. You're all awesome. This community is amazing. And I really appreciate all of you. So
Yes,
thank you.
it is.
Absolutely. Huh? I want to echo what everybody said. You know, thank you, chat, for hanging in there with us and doing some building. I think I know the general plan for us was to hold our feet to the fire to get some building done
Yeah.
and answer some questions and whatnot and be able to have guys like Mr. Henry on and, you know, get some of their input and how they do things and kind of talk models. I think we all can sit around and talk models till forever if we wanted to, but just want to say thank you again to Fred. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I think Justin will probably be back next week. Mr. BG, what does it look like for you for next Sunday? You think you'd be available?
Let me check my other brain
Okay.
here.
Your other brain?
My other brain.
I left my other brain off because it usually tells me, "Hey, get up, fat boy, move."
For the 23rd, I look like I am free and clear.
All right, sounds good, man. We'll see if we can get you back on, Jason. And I'm glad that it didn't snow you out. It's never the same without you. But we get it. You know, these things happen. We know how that goes. But
Yeah.
Yep.
just want to take a second. You guys don't obviously. Jason and BG, you know, but Fred, don't hang up just yet. We'll do a little behind the scenes after show stuff. But thank you again to chat. Thank you for everybody for showing up.
Yep.
And,
give that big thumbs up too, by the way.
That's right. 2 big old thumbs ups. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys next week. But let me get my plug in. Don't forget Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Myself, Mr. Bruce, and Jason are be hosting the AMC Livecast. This week we will have Manny on there for the Thursday show as a guest. So look forward to having Manny on there. And hopefully we'll see you guys then. And if not, we'll see you next week. Y'all be good at it and keep on modeling.
See you guys.
Peace.
Laters.